Hey everybody, Coach Schumann here. Just want to give you a very quick update on what we learned last week from the MIAA about this upcoming hockey season. I won't have all the information about tryouts ready for you today. We're still working on that with the Hockomock League and with our school, but there is some information that's important to help us get ready for tryouts in a few weeks. So a couple of things here. Key dates. We know now that the season is going to start on December 14th. And what that means is that we will have tryouts beginning on December 14th, that Monday. After that, the first games that we can play will be January 3rd. And these are Hockomock League only games. There are sadly no non-league games this year. So we are playing a Hockomock only schedule. And our last date for games will be February 21st. So I imagine that the Hockomock League will do some sort of Hockomock Cup or some sort of Hockomock playoffs format. And the last date for that will be on February 21st. Last week, the MIAA came up with some modifications for all winter sports, including ice hockey. In the presentation that I have here, you can click on the link that's in this slide to see what those modifications are. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of changes to this upcoming season. But like we predicted, some of them are number one, masks on at all times. No matter where you are in a hockey rink, masks are going to be required to be on the bench, on the ice, entering the rink. That's the first big modification. And then no locker rooms. Now, how is this going to impact us? I have to really think about that, how we're going to really make sure that we're prepared, dressed, and ready to go. But we will not be able to use locker rooms at all this year. And the other big thing is really these social distancing requirements. We're going to have to find out how to use the benches. I imagine we're only going to be allowed to have maybe a couple of coaches on the bench with maybe the next line up on the bench. And everybody else will probably have to be off the bench. So that's going to be a real challenge that we'll have to just adapt to and figure out. And then also we have to really think about how we run practices and tryouts because practices are going to also have to follow the social distancing guidelines. Probably less waiting in line, standing next to each other than we have done in the past, and including game warm-ups as well. There's going to be some probably changes to the way we do things. There's also new rules on scrums. I don't know how they're going to be enforced, but basically anytime there's a scrum, they're going to blow the play dead. And the definition of a scrum now is when a third person comes into the corner. So if you have a defenseman and a forward battling for a puck, when a third person comes in, they're supposed to blow the play dead. And then lastly, the MIA designated that there's going to be some really strict game roster limits. So in the past, we could dress 22 players for non-league games. We could dress unlimited number of players for Hockomock League games. Neither of those things are happening this year. I think the most we'll be able to dress in a rink that has very large benches and a lot of open space would be 20 players. The final steps to get ready for the season are as follows. First of all, we're so close. We are so close, but we're not there yet. So even though the MIAA put forth those recommendations, now schools have to put them in place and local boards of health have to approve them. So what does that mean? That means that the Hockomock League athletic directors are meeting this week to digest those MIAA recommendations and then also come up with their own specific protocols and further modifications. So you can probably expect that there's going to be additional rules and additional changes to how we do things. They're probably going to give us a little more guidance on what they want to see us doing on benches. They're probably going to give us specific details about what the roster sizes during games will be, and probably some other things as well that I can't think of at the moment. But the bottom line is that the Board of Health in Canton has the final say. So after the Hockomock League meets, Mr. Erickson, the coaches will be meeting for every sport in the winter and coming up with the new rule modifications and the changes that we need to make. And then we present those to the Canton Board of Health that will either give us the thumbs up to go ahead and begin our hockey season or say that we need to go back to the drawing board and try some other things. So the bottom line is that even though last week was good news about the season taking place, we're not there yet. We have to make sure that we get the final approval from our local Board of Health. One of the things that is always very important in normal years and in this year is that your parents have to register you through the athletics department to play a winter sport. So I know that a lot of you, or I hope all of you, filled out that pre-registration form for me. There was that Google form, and I thank you for that. But that's not the official registration form through the athletic office. Starting on November 30th, they're going to open up the CHS winter sports registration, and that's probably going to last for maybe 3 or 4 days. And this will be on the Canton High School athletics website, and you can click on that link to get there. But this must take place from November 30th to December 3rd, roughly. And that could actually be December 2nd. So don't hold me to that date. It could actually be December 2nd. And a parent or guardian must register you through the athletics website. And if you do not register during that window, you will not be able to try out on December 14th. And every year, sadly, we have someone that misses that first day, and we don't want that to happen this year, given how short the season is. So what I would do is have a reminder or multiple reminders set on your phone now to make sure that your parents, you can remind your parents on November 30th to register for winter sports through the athletics website. The next 3 weeks, I hope a couple of things. Number one, I hope you get ready and I hope you get excited. So I know a lot of you have been doing a lot on your own to get ready for the hockey season. And like I said in our last video, it's going to be different. But at the same time, it's still going to be special. It's still going to be an opportunity to get on the ice with your friends and play some meaningful games against other high schools in our league. So I hope you get ready over the next 3 weeks, and I hope you also get excited. So how can we get ready? Well, make sure that you're going to the off-season workouts with Coach Hughes. Coach Hughes has said openly that the attendance in the off-season hasn't been great. And that's unfortunate, but we have 3 weeks, and a lot can happen in 3 weeks. So you need to register for the strength and conditioning sessions on the Canton High School Athletics website. There's a link in the presentation that you can click on to register. But if I were our players, I'd be making as many of those as possible in the upcoming weeks. I would also treat our current practices, whether it's for Canton Youth Hockey, our U teams, our club teams, like you're trying out for our team. We all know that we kind of go through the motions sometimes in fall practices, and now is a chance to really step it up and push yourself so that you're ready for tryouts on December 14th. I also strongly urge you to stay safe and stay healthy inside and outside the rink. Make sure that you're following all the rules, doing all the right things, washing your hands, wearing masks all the time when you're around friends and when you're around other people. And then lastly, like I always say every year, some of the best and easiest ways to get ready for any hockey season are the simplest. Shoot pucks every day. Every day, shoot as many pucks as you can. You will not believe how that will set you apart from other players that are trying out and then other teams as well. Make sure you're starting to sleep right, eat right, hydrate. These are all things that we can do now so that we are ready to go when the season begins. I also want you in the next 3 weeks to be smart and to be patient. Now, I know people are excited. I know people want to start the season, and I know people want to really make sure that we hit the ground running. But we cannot have captain's practices in the next 3 weeks. We can't have them in normal years. The MIAA has a rule saying that captain's practices are not allowed. But now this is especially true. With no adult supervision, no coaches around to remind you to stay socially distanced and stay apart and make sure that you're doing the right thing, captain's practices put us at risk for not starting the season on time. So I ask you, take advantage of your youth hockey team practices, youth hockey team games, club practices, club games. That's how you can get ready for the season. Do things outside of the rink to help yourself get ready. But please, no captain's practices. I also strongly urge you to stay away from all big parties, all parties in general, and social gatherings. Your focus now should be on school and keeping your family safe and now getting ready for hockey. And if we attend parties and social gatherings, then we're putting ourselves at risk. The next update that you will probably receive from me will be on the week of November 30th. I expect to be meeting with Coach Erickson and other winter sports coaches either early this week, early next week. And as soon as we get some more information and details about the specifics of tryouts, I will make sure to call a Zoom meeting or send out another video with those details. Next time you hear from me, you'll have tryout times, you'll have your tryout groupings, and I'll also have the specific league safety rules and modifications for you ready to go. With that being said, I hope all of you have a safe and happy Thanksgiving. I think that one of the things that I urge you to do this week is to remember that even though this has been a very, very strange year and a year that has really presented its challenges and difficulties, we all still have something to be thankful for. And I want you to remember that, to try to stay positive and to be thankful for the things that we do have. So I wish you and your families a safe and happy Thanksgiving this week. And I look forward to seeing you all in person soon.